Hi guys, my name is Meads. This is going to be a review for Captain America, and it's part of the Legends Infinite series. And it's actually my first one. I typically buy Japanese toys, and this is a gift from Vector, a good friend of mine. And he just wanna kinda have me try it. And I typically don't buy American toys, only with a few exceptions. I do like the NECA, especially for the Pacific Rim. But again, for the most part, I usually get Japanese toys. So I'm giving this a shot, and I'm really glad that Vector gave me this opportunity. So we have Captain America here. It looks amazing. Yep, and we're seeing an alternate head there. Pretty cool. Now I'm not too sure. It says the Winter Soldier, if it's really based off the movie. But yeah. And on this line, you can create your own Build-A-Figure, or they call it the BAF Mandroid. So you gotta collect all 6 of them. And apparently, I got the, which one is this one? The right or left leg? One of the legs. Alright, and let's take a look inside. Alright, when you first get out of the packaging, you'll notice that the strap is only on one. Or only one strap is put on, and it's gonna be loose. Basically, you have to reattach, or I think you might have to remove the whole hand here to put it on. But we'll take a look at that in a bit. Let's first take a look at the details and articulation. Now, I always find that American toys are built on that hard plastic. You know, these guys can take a lot of beating, so compared to Japanese toys. And you know, that's something I really like. I grew up actually having G.I. Joes, Batman. I remember those 3.5-inch figures, or 3.25. Those are great. And I seldom got, I think this is probably about 5-6 inch. But nonetheless, I really enjoy them. They're very sturdy. I think I played some of mine for years. Paint started to peel off, but they're still good. I really like them. Very sturdy. And this one has nice details. You get all the creases there. In terms of paint app, I don't really see much of a mishap. It's really nice. It's really great. See, there's a peg stand hole there if you ever need to, but I don't think this one comes with it. But I think that's probably just something that's standard. Articulation wise, we have the head, and I believe we can swap this out, which involve beheading Steve Rogers. There we go. There's a nice ball joint there, which we can pop this on. There we go. But I actually just prefer keeping this on here. There we go. It's a nice snap. It's one of those satisfying snap that it's in there. You get a bicycle swivel here. You get a shoulder joint, kind of ratchets. This part here took me a while, but you gotta be really careful when you're exercising the joint, especially on this one. But it does go up. It might take a little while, but there we go. You get double jointed elbow, which is really good. And the elbow is kind of weird, but it has a separate part there, part of the double joint. It's not too bad. I think if you got it then partially 90 degree, it's not too bad. But at least you get a double jointed elbow. Now we have the midsection, which has a little bit of tilt up and tilt down. So that's great. Then you have the hips. The belt kind of shifts up and down. So if you want to shift it up, you can rotate. You get the waist. I think it's not sure if you can tilt. Not so much on the side, but you got the swivel here. I mean, he can do a back kick. You get the knee. Same thing with the elbow. Double jointed. You get the separate knee armor, which is always great. I like that they add that, or always have that in the design. It's always unsightly when you just have a just a joint without this kneecap, it looks ugly. But this one they have that, so that's great. And the joint system here is, it's not too unsightly. I mean, it kind of molds in. Yep. And that kind of reminds me, I think most American toys are doing that. Sometimes you'll see like a metal peg there. Then you have the ankle joint. You actually have a swivel. The joint is going this way. So, I mean, if you want to do some crazy wide stance, you can. And that's pretty good. You don't have a toe joint, but you probably don't need to with that angle. So that's really great for posability. Getting back to the hands, you have a wrist joint, and you can interchange them. You got a couple of hands here. So other than the closed fist for both hands, you have a pointing finger on the left hand and a salute for the right. So let's just do the salute. Now I always find this a little hard to do, removing this joint. I've yet to find a good technique. There we go. It's basically, there's a partially cone shape there, which kind of gives you the grip. And it feels like you're gonna break the joint, but again, this is made from really hard plastic. And it does, it's pretty good. There we go, you got the salute. Pretty cool. Let's put it back. I still prefer that. Now it doesn't have, I thought you can use this to hold the shield, but they didn't do it that way. Then you have this pointing one. Moving on, let's take a quick look at the shield here. Yeah, you got some nice paint app there. You got this kind of like pearl blue on the shield. Even in the back, the strap, the coloring, it's not too bad. I actually liked it. I mean, you get, you know, your basic colors. You get a little bit of details there. Yeah, not too bad. Alright, so again, getting back to this, you cannot remove the strap. It's there. It's I think maybe glued in. So to do this, you have to remove the wrist, which I kind of loosened up already. Put this on. And here comes the hard part, putting that wrist joint in. Actually, you just gotta squeeze it in. Get it in there. A little bit more. A bit more. It's not letting me. There's not enough gap there, but I think that's good enough. Now, here comes the hard part, putting this wrist joint in. And you're gonna be struggling on this for a bit. That's probably why the wrist joint got loosened a little bit, but I think I got it in there. And there we go. So it's nice to have that bicycle swivel. And you probably can do a little bit of a bend, but not so much with that shield on. There we go. This is actually a really nice figure. I really like this. Kind of want me to get more of the Marvel Legends. Probably just pick the ones I really like in terms of the characters. It's just that I'm already into Japanese collectibles. It's one of those decisions. Do I want to start a new line? Oh man, there's just so many. Yeah, it's pretty cool figure. And just a quick comparison with the Figma Captain America. There we go. In terms of paint app, I'm still gonna go with the Figma, but in terms of molding and design, I'm gonna go with the Marvel Legends. One of the flaws of the Figmas, I find that you got that weird shapely backside, and yeah, this one it feels more. I like the molding and scaling on this one. It feels a lot better. Yep. Well, aside from the elbow, but I mean, even on this one, can't really say much. So, there we go. That's pretty much it for the review for the Marvel Legends. Again, I would like to thank my good friend Vector for giving me as a present, giving me a chance to try out the Marvel Legends. They're pretty cool figures, they're very sturdy, and I would highly recommend them. There we go. That's it for the review. If you have any questions, Not particularly Marvel Legends, so since I know little about it. But in general, about my channel or other things I've reviewed on, let me know. So until then, this is Beads. Thanks for watching. I forgot about the leg. Yeah, it's one of those. Probably if I have the rest of the Mandroid, it would make sense to have reviewed this, but that's basically it. If you're just wondering about this foot or leg.